Welcome back, everybody. My name is Andrew Love, and in today's video we're going to be talking about creating a vision for your sexuality. You see, a lot of people don't even know that that's a thing. They don't even know that it's an option for us, that we could create a vision for our sexuality. And because of that, their experience with sexuality is always reactive. It's just a series of reacting like I feel sexual or trying to resist your sexuality, but it's never planned and it's never in line with an overall vision for who you'd like to be in the area of sexuality. But the problem is, if you don't have a vision, then you have no foresight. You have nothing compelling you forward, but also you don't have any hindsight. You don't learn your lessons. So for the people that don't have a vision, they'll most likely find themselves in a situation where they're making the same mistakes again and again in this infuriating loop. You do not want to be at the mercy of your circumstances. Because we live in a highly sexualized world, you'll always be triggered and you'll always be wanting some sort of sex that doesn't really fit with your life, but it's hard to manage all that because you're just reacting to all the stimuli that's constantly coming at you from every which way, every time you turn on the TV, every time you look at your phone, every time you drive down the street. And if you don't have some guiding rails to help you propel yourself towards an ultimate goal, you're really just at the mercy of whatever life throws at you. And that is very stressful and ultimately very destructive. So creating a vision also allows you to have a healthy sense of contrast. You see, if you really want something, then it brings out the best in you because you're like, I don't have it, I want that. And it also allows you to see when you're doing something, some activity that's taking you away from that ultimate goal. And that feels not so great, right? There's a clear delineation between, I want this, but I'm doing this. So now you can feel it more clearly. Whereas when you don't have a vision, you might do something that you regret, but it's really like this, you're in this fog, this haze of confusion where you have positive emotions, negative emotions, you have something pulling you and pushing you and you can't really make sense of it. So creating a vision allows for you to clearly set your sights on something that you want and also to understand when it is that you're straying from that vision. The other thing about having a vision for your sexuality is it gives you something to fight for. That brings out the best of us when we have something worth sacrificing for. We don't naturally want to sacrifice anything. Naturally, if we're just living by our body's desires, we don't want to sacrifice any amount of comfort. We want to eat the foods that our mouths like. We don't want to eat things like broccoli, and we sure as heck don't want to manage and control the portions of our food. But if you think about that sexually, it's the same thing. If we don't have any guiding vision, we wouldn't naturally want to put down porn when it just gives us so much pleasure. But when you have a vision for yourself, it creates this strong sense of righteousness because you say, I want this, I don't want this. And in order to really muster the strength and ask for help, humble yourself and do all the work necessary to align yourself with your vision, you need a compelling reason to do that. Otherwise, our body's going to take over and it's just going to say, nah, it's not worth it. Let's just go back to our familiar happy place. So having a vision really creates these stakes and it allows you to really stand upright and say, no, I am going to fight for my freedom, for this vision that I have. So when you think about setting a vision, one way that we kind of treat this process is to imagine what would it be like if you had a perfect day? What would it be like if you woke up and you just lived the perfect day? And not because you're a multimillionaire or because your external circumstances changed, but because you just felt great about yourself, you felt great about your life. So in that circumstance, how would you be interacting with your phone? How much time would you be spending with your phone? If in this perfect day you felt sexual, what would you do with that sexual energy? How much control would you have over your body? When you start to visualize what it would be like to have that ideal life, what would it be like to have full sexual integrity? Allow yourself to dream. Jot down some notes of what type of thoughts you'd be having, what type of emotions you'd be having, what type of hobbies you'd be doing if you're just really like full on yourself, the self that you choose to be. in the area of sexuality, how much that would influence the different aspects of your life. When you can write this stuff down, that becomes the bones, the skeletal structure of your vision, and then you can start to flesh it out over time. You see, a real vision, something we're striving for, is something that we can adapt over time. We don't have to figure it all out at once. So please, find somebody to work together with and formulate your vision, express it. The more that you workshop it by talking about it, by writing it down, by looking at it, by thinking about it, the more that this vision will become vivid and three-dimensional. The more we feed it, the more it will grow. And this vision, the more that you invest in it, will start to become more real, and you'll actually start to expect it, and it'll start to unfold naturally. It will become a natural extension of the goals that you set and how you live your life, the more that it just feels real to you. So spend some time with it, continually invest in expanding it. What does it look like to have full sexual integrity? And just watch what happens. It will guide your actions. It will guide your goals. It will even guide your thoughts and emotions. It's a very powerful thing to do. I highly encourage it. Thank you so much, and I will see you when I see you.